Now that we've heard from Taryn, I'd like to introduce you all to Shawn. Shawn and Kristen, the woman mentioned before, who Rob had expressed interest in, and then turned to slut-shaming her and berating her on his videos when she did not reciprocate his advances. She and Shawn have been best friends for a really long time. I think Kristen says they've been friends since middle school. So, he and Kristen met Rob and started volunteering with Get Haunted together. Here is Shawn's story.
Hey Stevie, I wanted to take some time and just respond to your question and give my thoughts on everything that's happened with Get Haunted and everything else. So I thought I would just kind of speak openly. So if I pause or mess up a little bit, don't mind me. I think with the entire thing, with this whole situation, I just don't understand it, and I don't think I ever will. I don't understand why these people worry so much about what I'm doing or care what I'm doing or have spent so much time and effort and energy attacking me and saying awful things about me. I just don't understand it. They've accused me of attacking their children, which is unbelievable to me. I don't understand where that comes from or how you could say something like that. It's just such an awful accusation to lob on a person. Probably one of the worst things you can say about a person. And I just don't understand where it comes from. Like, how I understand the entire situation with Get Haunted is while I was there, over the course of about 8 months or so, I was repeatedly told that Kristen and Lawrence were manipulating me, that they weren't good friends to me, and that they would say horrible things about me. I was told this by multiple people. I was told this by Rob, by Sarah, by Danny. This it was said to me all the time. I didn't have any other reason to not believe these people, and I regret that. It's something that I have to live with now that I know the truth. But the entire time that I joined a ghost hunting group, I was told by people that I barely knew that these people that I had been friends with for an incredibly long time in my life were manipulating me and using me and saying awful things about me. So I didn't understand. I'm like, why would they be lying about that? So I believed them against my better judgment. And all I wanted to do was be a part of something. I wanted to go ghost hunting and explore the paranormal and see cool places and take awesome pictures and just have fun. And I thought I'd found that. And come to find out, there was so much going on behind the scenes that I didn't really realize until I had left the group. Then it all started to come to light. And while I was there, I'd been told multiple times by Rob that Kristen was either sexting different men in the group who are married or in relationships or whatever, or she was having inappropriate conversations with them, or she was making people feel uncomfortable. He would tell me that all the time, and I was like, I didn't understand it. I've been friends with Kristen for a long time. We've been friends since middle school. So I'm like, what are you saying? And then I got upset with her because I'm like, why is she doing this? Like, we're a part of something cool. Why is she doing these? Why is she going around doing these things? Why is she making people feel uncomfortable? And I didn't want to be associated with that. I felt like, we were kind of like a package deal. So I'm like, I don't want people to be upset with me because she's doing these things. So I believed him. And I know at the time Rob was interested in Kristen. He had taken me out to dinner multiple times, told me how he, was very interested in her. He thought she was pretty, thought she was nice, blah, 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 blah. Do I think that she would be interested in somebody like him? Like all that kind of stuff. And it the whole thing to me, honestly, Stevie, I don't understand where any of that has a place in ghost hunting. That's where I'm completely lost. I'm still confused. I'm not exactly sure what we were a part of. It's just so strange. But yeah, he went out of his way, I think, to pursue Kristen. I don't think that she reciprocated that to his liking or whatever happened. I don't understand the details of that. But he took a serious turn. So he went from, praising Kristen, oh, she's this, she's that, I want you guys around all the time, blah, 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 to him saying that she makes everybody uncomfortable. We don't want her here. Nobody wants her here. He's even said to me multiple times, she needs to read the room. She needs to read the room. Nobody wants her here. She needs to go. But then I would see at times, and I don't think he realized that I saw this, then he would call her baby, or like he would say things to her that were completely opposite of what he was saying to me about what people were feeling. And I'm like, this is weird, so, it got strange. It got really, really, really bizarre. And the accusations got weirder and weirder. And eventually he told Kristen to leave. He had kicked Lawrence out of Get Haunted. He then kicked Kristen out of Get Haunted. I was still there. I stayed around. I stopped talking to my friends because I thought the stuff that he was saying was true, against my better judgment, like I said. And I stayed there until I believe it was November. I want to say 2022. I think that was the year. It's November of 2022. And it was becoming a very negative place. It was a lot of talking about people. It was a lot of back and forth. And I'll admit I participated in that from time to time. And I saw myself becoming a person that I didn't want to be. It was a lot of negativity. And it was distracting me. I had spent so much time and effort that I had given to that man to help him because I thought he was a good person. I spent countless hours of graphic design and photography and going to these events. I used up like all of my vacation time at my job so that I could go to these events. And you don't get paid for them, So it's like you're expending a lot of your own effort and energy, and there's not much in it, other than like a nice place to be with fun people. And when I wasn't getting that anymore and it was just all becoming negative, I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, there's no reason for me to be doing this. I can go ghost hunting on my own. I don't need this, and it was just making me depressed. I wasn't happy anymore. I wanted to get out, and I wanted to focus on my own shop. As you know, I do my, antiques and oddities business. So I wanted to get that off the ground and I wanted to make it a thing. And I couldn't do that while I was focusing on other people's, stuff. So, so I left on good terms. I sent a resignation letter to Rob and Sarah, and they were very kind to me. And they were like, oh, you're a wonderful person. We'll always be friends, and I even said to them, I'm like, I'm happy to help you guys from time to time if you want, just let me know. But I can't be doing this all the time. Like, I just can't, it's not a good headspace, I want to say it was a few weeks later. So before that happened, so after I'd left, I met up with Kristen because she had messaged me and she said, Shawn, I want to know why you don't talk to me anymore. Like, you just stopped talking to me. We never had a conversation about it. And she's right. So I was like, okay, let's go to lunch or dinner or something and we'll discuss it. So we met at a diner and, and I told her everything. I said, this is what I'm upset about. You were doing these things, blah, 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 blah. And then she's looking at me like, no. I'm like, what do you mean? So she starts talking to me and like we're going back and forth and she's like, none of that is true. I've never done that to any of these people. I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, they told me that you were doing these things, there were all these crazy accusations. She was hanging over all these men at Penhurst and all this stuff. Like, it was crazy. So she's like, no, none of that is true. She pulls up her phone, like she's showing me the not that she had to do this, but she's showing me the conversations that she had with these people. And all of it was completely fine. Normal conversation that people have when they're a part of something together. Oh, are you going to be at this event? And, oh, look at this evidence that I caught, or look at this EVP or whatever. And it was just like normal conversation, like normal stuff about ghost hunting, if that's ever normal. But it was nothing sexual. It was nothing inappropriate. So obviously when I told Kristen this, she was alarmed. And I'm like, yeah, Rob made me believe it. That's why I stopped talking to you. Like, and he's told other people that you were doing these things, So she went and contacted some of these people and said, listen, if I ever said anything that made you feel uncomfortable, if I ever did anything that made you feel that I was being inappropriate, I'm sorry. I don't understand where this is coming from, but I didn't mean that. And I am so sorry if I ever made you feel that way. And then she said, Rob's saying that I did this, so I don't, want to not acknowledge that if you felt that I did that to you. So she was like kind of going around just to make sure that these people don't feel that way too. And they were then shocked. The men that she was contacting were like, what are you talking about? Whatever. And I guess that got back to Rob, and I think that's where all of this started. So, um, I don't understand, like, because after I had that conversation with Kristen, I then get this bizarre email from Rob saying that I'm ruining his life and attacking his daughter and ruining her future or whatever. And just insane nonsense, and about how I had a group of people who cared about me and loved me, but now I don't have that anymore, and that I'm never going to be happy in my life. And like, it was so manipulative and disgusting. I was so angry when I saw this email. I'm like, you're disgust. Like, it was so gross. It was so gross to me to read this, that somebody would go out of their way to not only ruin my friendship with my friends, but to then come back and try to like manipulate me into, I don't know, like, I don't know what the end goal there was, but to be disgusting and just say that I'm ruining your, like, how dare you? I spent countless hours uncompensated helping you start a business for you to hurt people, and then for you to say that I am destroying your life. I was like, I'm not going to let this go. So I responded, because he only sent the email to me. And I'm like, you're not going to tell all your little people in your group that you said one thing to me and that I said something else to you, because I can tell he's a liar now. So I responded, and I copied everybody. I copied Danny, I copied Kyle, I copied Sarah, I copied everybody on the email. Nobody responded to it, which I thought was funny. I'm like, y'all have these opinions of me, apparently, and you think I'm ruining your life, but you won't respond to me, so whatever. So I responded, and I said, listen, I told Kristen what you had told me for months. I told her what I believed to be the truth until I sat down with her at that restaurant that day, and she told me everything that really happened. And then I knew, so I'm like, so I knew the truth then at that point. So I don't know what you're talking about, that you're saying that I'm saying horrible things about you and destroying your business. I mean, if your words are hurting your own business, maybe don't use those words anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't understand it. So like I said, I never got a response. I got a weird text message from Rob after I sent the email back to him that said, you are so wrong, take care, or something. And then I never heard from him again. And then it was just constant nonsense brought up on the internet after that. People would send me clips of him and Sarah on live streams crying and saying that I'm doing things to them or I'm out to destroy his business. Pictures mocking me, like, for my weight, which is horrible. I saw pictures making fun of my business, what I'm doing, calling me unsuccessful, saying that I'm, some poor loser that lives in his grandmother's basement. Just awful stuff about me as a person that has been so hard to handle. Because I do have self-esteem issues. I don't know who doesn't, so it's just like, I didn't join a ghost hunting group and dedicate my time and energy to helping somebody for them to turn around and do this to me. And I guess I just don't understand it. I don't know what I did wrong to him. His actions have their own consequences. You ran around slut shaming a woman who you couldn't get with, or whatever the situation is. And regardless, it has no place in the paranormal. What does anybody who's sleeping with anybody have anything to do with him? Why is that his business at all? It's just strange. Like, he has a weird obsession with people's sexual lives from what I've seen, and I'm tired of it. Like, I'm so tired of all of this back and forth. And they keep claiming that they're leaving us alone and they don't understand. I mean, I found out that he got me banned from the Penhurst Paracon. For what? I don't know, but he got me banned from the Penhurst Paracon. And then you see these text messages of, apparently he tried to murder me, like, for doing what? Like, I don't understand. Like, you planned a whole murder plot to bring a gun and shoot me at a Paracon. Like, do you know how deranged that is? Like, what is wrong with this person? And I can't understand it. I don't know what I did. All I did was I joined a ghost hunting group with my friends, and I will note that I joined that group at a very vulnerable time in my life when I was really looking for something to be a part of and to be happy. And I think that they preyed on me. They took that vulnerability that I had and they manipulated me into doing awful things for them. And then when I wouldn't play the game anymore, they had to set out to destroy me. And I don't understand that. As he said himself, I'm a 30-something-year-old guy that lives in his grandmother's basement. Okay, then why are you attacking me and my financial endeavors and my entrepreneurship? Like, why are you coming at me for trying to start a business? You're like 53 years old and you're running around the internet acting like a 10-year-old. Like, I don't understand it. I can't figure it out. And then him and Sarah, they're crying. Like, those two are just awful people. It's sick what they did, Stevie. And I can even add to it too. There was a part to this, and I should have said this before, that I just is so creepy to me. Now that I look back at it, it makes my skin crawl, what those two did. When I first joined Get Haunted with Kristen, they created a group for myself, Kristen, and Danny called Start Here on Facebook for the three of us to join and talk to Sarah, because Sarah is some supposed spiritual guru, as Rob calls her, that she can help you figure out stuff and she's amazing and blah, 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 blah. So we joined this Facebook group and he's like, you need to participate in it. It's part of being, with Get Haunted. You have to do this, blah, 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 blah. You got to get through your stuff so that you can move forward and grow and all these things. And again, like I said, I was vulnerable at the time, and I go in there and I'm saying stuff that has, implications for my own self-esteem, my self-conscious issues. Like I said, about my weight, about my financial situation, about my position in life and what I've been able to accomplish. And they've literally used all of those things that I said in that group against me to hurt me and to manipulate me and so publicly to thousands of people. And it's gross. And then I see these thousands of people who I've never met and I will probably never meet saying horrible things about me on the internet, that they want to come and hurt me, that they want to come and bring brass knuckles and punch me and all that. What have I ever done to these people? And what is Rob telling them that I did that they believe it? I hate to get so worked up. I can't understand why this happened. I don't know what the end result is. When is enough for these people? When are they going to move on? When are they going to leave us alone? And they say that we're on the internet making fun of them and doing all this stuff. We have only started to make fun of them for their bullshit. And it's the stuff that they have said about us. It's not about them at all. It's about the nonsense that they've put out there about us, calling Kristen a slut and a whore, saying that I'm fat and that I'm lazy and that I take advantage of people. It's gross. It's disgusting and it's just wrong. And it's not how people should treat each other. Not in this field. We're supposedly in this field of acceptance and everything. And I see them on these ridiculous live streams. They go out there and Sarah's there with the lifting the voices and all this stuff. If these people only knew the stuff that Rob and Sarah have done, they would completely be disgusted. And seeing these messages, I was shocked. I didn't know the level of depravity and bullshit. I didn't know how sick this man is. When I saw those text messages and I saw that anger and that hatred and the this bitch is next and I'm going to behead her dog and I'm going to come and shoot them at a Paracon. Are you freaking kidding me? What warrants that? I can't stand Rob or Sarah or Danny for that matter, because I think she's a disgusting friend, and that's for personal reasons. That's beyond all the Get Haunted stuff. It's how she treated me after everything. But these people do this. What what would prompt you to do that? Like I said, I can't stand them, but I will never use the word hate, and I would never wish this on anybody. And one thing that I can say for Rob, because he loves to talk about his daughter and everything and going on about how people are ruining her life, I would never wish upon his daughter the way that he has treated Kristen. It's disgusting, and other women around him. And I would caution anybody to be very, very careful getting involved in that organization, because I'm telling you, it's only a matter of time and they're going to turn on you too. And they're going to treat you like trash. And it's sick. And I'm sorry to go on such a rant, and I'm sorry to get so worked up, but I'm just so over all of this. I just want it to end, and I don't know when it's going to end. I just wish that they would leave me alone, never mention my name again, and move the hell on. But I don't know how that's ever going to happen. I just feel like I don't know what they want. Do they want blood? Apparently, according to those text messages, I don't know. I don't know what to do, you know? So I appreciate you so much, Stevie, for doing this and for going out of your way to put yourself in the line of fire for this nonsense, because I don't know if Rob's going to respond to you or not, but I'm sure you're going to have a lot of nonsense to deal with too. So it's just kind of the way that it goes with these people. But you know, and I've said it before and I'll say it again. If anybody feels that I've done anything to them, please come to me. I still have yet to hear anything. Rob makes the claim all the time that he supposedly calls me to talk to me. I've never received a phone call from this man. I've never blocked his phone number. Complete open communication anytime he wants it. He's never called me. So I don't know what he wants. I don't understand it. It's just, yeah, sorry, I am rambling, but I just get so worked up over this, and it's so sick, and it makes me so upset to see people act this way. You know, there's so many real problems in the world, and this is just such nonsense, you know, but, yeah. Thank you, Stevie. If you need anything else from me, or you need any clarification or input, or if, anything else, just let me know. Thank you. I also wanted to add, and I missed this in my previous message, I am gay, right? I am a gay man. I don't make that part of my identity. I don't care. Like I'm not the type of person that is all that I'm about. It's a part of my life. It's not my entire life. I don't usually even tell people that I'm gay because it's not their business. I don't care, you know? To see that Rob openly refers to me, and I've heard this multiple times from multiple people, as the gay one, is so gross to me because it diminishes me as a person. He openly refers to me as the gay one. And it kind of goes into, like I said before, he has this weird obsession with people's sexual lives. Like, I don't understand what that is. To know that, and then to see him posting things during June for Pride Month about how Get Haunted loves gay people. Are you kidding me? All you've done is make fun of my sexuality. All you've done is make fun of other people's sexuality. And those are stories that I am not privy to tell. I'm not going to open up about that because that's not my place to say it. If that person wants to share it, they can do that. But for him to go around making fun of people for their sexuality and then try to market on Pride Month and make money during June off of gay people is disgusting. It's disgusting. It's sick. It's gross. It's wrong. And for him to continue to make comments about who I choose to sleep with is gross. And it's the same with anybody else. He is just this bizarre obsession with people's sexuality. And I don't understand it. I don't think I ever will. But what gives him the right? What gives him the right? That's what I want to know, you know? And I don't know that he could ever answer that. I'm sure he's going to say he's joking and this and that. I don't understand. There were times, Stevie, where I was in the car with him where he called people who were quote unquote business partners. And I would just be sitting there. They didn't know that he was on speakerphone and that I was listening. And these people who I barely know would be like, oh, he's the gay one. Are you kidding me? Like, that's how I was known and Get Haunted is the gay one? What? Like, and I know that might not sound like a big deal to people, but I just don't understand. Like, that isn't my identity. Like, that isn't who I am. Why are you referring to me that way? I'm Shawn. Like, I'm not the gay one. Like, what is that? I don't get it. You know, and I don't know. I don't know. I just wanted to add that because I thought it was bizarre and it had come up multiple times. And it's another piece of the puzzle that I just don't get. Like his bizarre hatred towards me and everything that I am, apparently. I don't know. It's just very, very strange. It's so crazy.
Those parts about how Rob body shamed Shawn breaks my fucking heart, you guys. Anyone who thinks it's okay to shame someone based on their appearance has a special place in hell waiting on them. There is absolutely no excuse to shame someone for anything about themselves, especially their appearance. There has been so much going on in the drama that is within the paranormal community. A lot of the memes that have popped up mocking select groups or organizations. There's a trend in those memes and posts. They are making fun of the fact that they are all being stalked and harassed and lied to and manipulated and wronged. Rob addresses basically every little thing that pops up online that may or may not pertain to him. But the thing about thinking every little meme and post shared is about you says a lot. Why are you so concerned with what other people may or may not be saying about you if your hands are clean in any of these situations? Stalking social media to see who is saying or posting what about you and then assuming without proof that certain things are about you sounds a lot like paranoia to me. Oh, and something else I found extremely interesting and also telling. When I emailed Rob to invite him on my show, he responded damn near instantly. I'm talking within minutes. I took some time to reply. I had things going on, and I thought it was important to take care in what I said in my response instead of just responding right away to respond right away. And then, Rob told me on the phone that my taking so long to reply made him and Sarah nervous. Why on earth would that make you nervous, Rob? I'm not a bounty hunter. I'm not hunting you down to drag you to the gallows. But your paranoia is showing again and again, and it says a lot.